touches. Fuck me. It's gonna be one of those nights. Friday night in Blackpool as well, isn't it? Will I be out after? Alright, let's get straight into it. Let's start off, we finish off with SAS Australia. SAS Australia, I almost didn't do that course because of all the stuff, the shenanigans that happened with Channel 4. When the Channel 7 show came up in Australia, SAS Australia, they said to me, Andy wants to come over and do the show, and I said, look, if you're going to go the way Channel 4 show's going, then I will not do the show. So I don't want to do it. I really want to step away from the brand because it's becoming inauthentic, you know, it's becoming a bit of a tick boxing exercise, political correctness is seeping in to this authentic course, and I want nothing to do with it. But much to my pleasure, Channel 7 in Australia, they fucking hate Channel 4. How fucking good is that? I'm doing it. So the reason why things went peaked on with Channel 4 is because of exactly what I just mentioned. You know, SAS Who Dares Wins is an authentic, real process. It's not scripted. It's a show that originates from people that have been through the process, who now deliver the process, and ultimately we play with people's emotions. Again, I like to think we're positive people, therefore we play with their emotions in a way to expose an emotion, to repeat the process so they can understand about that emotion, therefore they can understand about themselves. Same with their headspace, with their psychological decisions or how they tackle certain tasks. I like to think we can help them break that down psychologically so they can achieve anything, really. So they can really commit to their fears and phobias, take those layers off and become a better version of who they are. And again, that can never be misplaced or misguided when you've got someone's life in your hands like that. It's a huge responsibility that I will not waver. I will not allow political correctness or any nonsense bleed into my work when it comes to that. And ultimately with Channel 4, that's exactly what happened. Now, I do not care what you have or don't have swinging between your legs. I do not care the colour of your skin. I really don't. All I care about in that course is, can you do the job? Yes or no. If you can't do the job's not for you. Simple as that. If you can, good on you. It's as simple as that. So with Channel 4, it's very much going down that road. But like I said before, we move on in a positive way. I'm over it now. Am I fuck? They're gonna fucking pay. New program, Channel 5, is coming. I'm never going to get work again after this tour. But when I went over and done SAS Australia, it made me realise how far out of my grasp it had gone, the UK version. And we went back to this authentic way. You know, my job as chief instructor is to run the narrative on the ground, to run the course on the ground. The production company's job is to run the narrative behind the scene. They run the show, I run the course on the ground with the DS, they run the show behind the scenes, put it together, you've got SAS Who Dares Wins. However, when the production company tried to run the narrative on the ground for a process that they hadn't been through, to push people physically and psychologically to a limit from the sidelines, that's when it becomes dangerous. That's when I've witnessed things I'm like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. And again, with SAS Australia, it allows us to really live and breathe that course with them, which we must do in order to get the best out of an individual. We've got to be there, we're by their side, live and breathe this course with them. Now I'm going to show you an exclusive clip from the first series of SAS Australia. It's the opening series of episode 1, and I'm going to talk about the importance of leading by example thereafter.
Turn around. Watch, observe, pay attention.
The SAS is an elite Tier 1 unit that conducts operations behind enemy lines. SAS Selection is a course
execute what needs to be done. If you get this wrong, the first breath of air you're going to take is not going to be air, it's going to be water. Do not panic. And do not want to be jumping off that helicopter into that water, dragging your arm, pumping water out of your lungs. This isn't a game. No popping around, no joking around. It starts right now.
Now, I don't know if you can see there, but I'm fucking freezing. I got dropped off probably about 300 meters into this lake. And when it first came about, they were like, Anna, do you want to do a rehearsal before the recruits go? I'm like, oh fuck, just get me in that water, I'll do it. And they went, it's 300 meters away. I said, how long is it going to take you to swim 300 meters? I said, a couple of minutes. I said, it took me 10 minutes. Water, it's glacier water, it's snowy mountains in Australia. I didn't know there are snowy mountains in Australia. All the water, the lakes is glacier water. It's like 8 degrees, 7, 8 degrees. And I hit that water and my head exploded. I was like that. By the end of it, I was swimming to shore. After about 8 nights, I was like swimming around in circles. My whole left side of my body fucking numbed up. I got to shore and Billy was just about to turn him around and I was like that. No! Up and down, trying to fucking walk myself. And I was like, right, listen to you fuckers. That's a true story. I gave my brief in one breath. I was like, that's the honest truth, so don't believe what you see on set. You suffer as well. The reason why I say that, it's very important that we lead by example. After that, I had to bring the helicopter in to about 80, they had about an 80-meter swim because, fucking hell, one of them would have made it. I'm like, great, start the course, end of the course, well done. And the reason why it's important on a serious note, why we lead by example, because in order to push someone physically and psychologically to their limits, you've got to be invested in what they're doing. You've got to be living and breathing that course with them. You've got to go on that journey with them. Because again, you try and do that from the sideline, that's when you start to fucking really, damage people. And you can go too far, or not far enough. And that's why in the water there, I get in the water, and I stay in that helicopter, I'm soaking wet. Because I know, I look at them and I think, right, if I'm suffering, then they're going to be suffering tenfold. And it gives me the ability on the ground to either push them further or to really just pull it back a little bit. But you know what? I need to pull this back. But if we do not live and breathe that course with them, then we cannot push them to that extent. And again, I refuse to let other people push my recruits to a certain extent when they're not living and breathing it with them. And again, leading by example is super, super important. And again, it helps, obviously, that we've been through the process, we know what it's like. I know what they're feeling. I can just tell by their demeanour, by look in their eye, if they're suffering or if they're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. And again, I either push them or pull the reins in a little bit. And leading by example is a huge thing that I'm really, I push to the forefront of everything I do, because we learn from what we see. Especially younger people and the younger generation, they learn from what they see. And us as adults, teachers, mentors, whatever we call ourselves, parents, we should always lead by example. So it's very, very important that I maintain that throughout SAS Australia. And again, a big reason, a huge reason why I still do the course in Australia is because I'm allowed to do that. There's no ulterior media narrative that's getting rammed down my throat, because I just tell them to piss off. The next clip I want to show you is from Series 2 of SAS Australia. Now, we up the ante in Series 2. I'm going to show you a vehicle dunking drill where we simulate a Range Rover or Land Rover crashing into water, and they have to go through a certain drill in order to keep themselves alive and get out. Now, there's two people, you're going to see in this clip, there's two people with exactly the same fear, water, and the same phobia, drowning. I don't get fears and phobias mixed up. They're different things. Again, break it down. People say, well, they confuse their fears with their phobias. Their fear was water, phobia was drowning. And so you can imagine when they fucking saw this task, they shit themselves. And I want you to see and just have a look. Two same people, same fears, same phobias, different outcomes because of one thing, which I will explain after this clip. In the Special Forces, we operate in many vehicles, whether it's helicopters, road vehicles. A lot of the time, they end up fucking going down. And the safest place to go down is in the water. There's a DS in the vehicle right now, that will be you. Seatbelt on, hands on steering wheel. You'll be lowered into the water. Cold water shock's gonna kick in. Panic's gonna kick in. That vehicle will fucking fill up very quickly. You're gonna be under there for a fucking long time. You start taking your seatbelt off whilst it's going down, you're gonna end up disorientated, upside down, pinned to the fucking roof, sucking in water into your lungs. But the average human can hold their breath 40 to 50 seconds, and you're gonna need all of that. On the DS, we'll squeeze you on the shoulder, then you go into your drill. You unclip with one hand, you disregard with the other. Once you've done that, you make your way out the back of the vehicle. When you surface, you will put your thumb in the air to let me know that you're okay and shout your number. 17, okay. Right, everyone turn back around, sit on your burgers.
A lot of people will shit themselves, they will fuck this up royally. But can you stay composed enough to get out of that vehicle? Let's just put your life on the line.
If you fuck this up, we will be dragging your carcasses out of the water, fucking pumping all the water out of your lungs. Fact. Once you get into that vehicle and the DS puts that seatbelt on you, that whole process will not stop. If you panic, you're going to stay under there a lot longer. You haven't even tried it number 6, have you? You know?
Yeah.
But how do you know? Can you hold your breath?
I'm giving you a number, sir.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to give me your number?
Yes, sir.
Come and give it to me.
Yes, sir.
Grab your Bergen, make your way back over to the vehicles.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, keep the fucking noise down. You're gonna need the oxygen. Hey, grip yourself, number 12. Poor Bonnie there, she was shitting her pants. And she was the other one that was scared, right? So you had Manu, the French guy, who got up, waved his little white flag. Gave me his number, he didn't have a white flag. Fine for French, gave me his number, and then shortly after you saw Bonnie, put her head down, and she went into a state of shock. I told her to get a grip of herself, get a grip of your mind. I suppose my brief didn't really help, did it? Do the drill wrong, you get pinned to the roof, you're gonna die. So no wonder Manny was like that. Keep this. The reason why I brief people like that, and there's a reason behind everything that I do, is because I want them to feel that fear. I want them to feel fear. I want that spark to ignite in them, because that's exactly what it is. It's like fucking hell, I'm alive. It's fear. Once you learn how to harness fear, which is the number one emotion that stops us from achieving. It's the number one emotion that stops us from committing. Is fear. Once you learn how to harness it through exposure, taking those layers off, and repetition, exposure, exposure, repetition, repetition. The more layers you take off, the closer you're going to get to understanding what's inside. That's you, that's your emotion. And then you start to learn how to harness that feeling. You know, by the time you take off that, oh, I know what I'm feeling here. Every time I went through that door, by the end of it, I was using it as a weapon. That fear drove me through that door every single time. So I knew the feeling. I knew the exact feeling I was going to get up when I got up to the door. When I went through the door, when that room was clear, when I was in contact, I knew, because I exposed that fear and repeated that process. And again, like I say, that's emotional intelligence. is understanding the emotion for what it is and making it work for you. I say that again, emotional intelligence is understanding the emotion for what it is, be honest with yourself, understand it for what it is, fear. And the intelligent part is making it work for you. Because the moment something doesn't work for you, it works against you. And that's your emotions, that's you working against yourself. But in order to understand them, you must expose them and repeat the process. That's why I brief in that way, because I want them to feel that fear. I want them to acknowledge it. What is it? Right. Okay, let's commit to it. I just want them to commit, and I want them to take the a layer off of it. And that's exactly what happened during this task. Those layers are so important. That first layer is so important. Bonnie, the girl that you saw at the end there, I told her to get good. She put her head down. I could tell straight away that she was broken. She was defeated. I told her to get good for herself, and she stood up shortly after, gave me her number. So I was like, right. So I grabbed Bonnie to one side, I grabbed Manu, the French guy, to one side. I gave them the numbers back, and again I pushed them away from the group. You don't see this on set, or this is behind the scenes. I grabbed them to one side, and I said, put your numbers back on. I said, right, all I want you to do right now is to commit. I'm going to break the commitment phases down for you. I said, I know you're both scared of water, I know you're focused drowning. Fear and phobia, horrible task to tackle if you don't break it down. Obviously, Manu, fear of the unknown, straight away gave his number. I said to them, right, the first commitment, I said, I want you to get into the vehicle. I said, that's all I want you to do. I said, I want you to get into the vehicle, I want you to feel the steering wheel. I said, I want you to put your seatbelt on. I said, I'm even going to give you, I'll give you a couple of times to put your seatbelt on and off. Bang, 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 bang. I said, and I'll give you 2 minutes to do that. It's only you two though. I said, and then I'll ask you if you want to commit again. I said, your second phase will be, once that vehicle lifts up, it won't stop, that process won't stop. So once you hit the water, I said, if you can go for the drill, get out the back. I said, however, I gave him a little nudge, wink, wink. I said, if you start to panic too early, I said, your driver's side window will be open. Unclip your seatbelt. I said, there'll be a diver there to drag you out of that window. I said, however, if you get dragged out of that window, I said, you'll fail the task. So even if you commit to that stage and you get out the window, I said, you'll fail the task. Manu, the French guy, gave his number straight away. Bang. Fear of the unknown, fear and phobia. Directly when I mentioned failure, even if you commit, you're going to fail the task. Fear of failure. Seeing the world through a negative lens. Seeing that whole situation through glass half empty. Mentioned failure, that finished him off. And I just thought, fucking hell, wow. He even said to me, so even if I commit and I'm going to fail the task, I went, yeah, he went, no, I'm gone. And off he went. Bonnie, however, she went, staff, I'm going to commit to the vehicle. She went, I can't promise I'm going far. I thought, you know what? I said, no, commit to the vehicle. I said, commit to the vehicle. I'll let you put your seatbelt on and off a couple of times, make sure you do it. I said, commit to the vehicle. So that's all I want you to do at this stage. I said, I'll come up to you in 2 minutes. Give me a couple of minutes, I'll ask you if you want to commit to the next stage. She said, no problem. She sat there, seatbelt on and off a couple of times. I went up to her. I said, do you want to commit again? She went, I don't know stuff. I said, what are you worried about? She started going through all the negatives. What if I get caught? What if I can't undo my seatbelt? What if I get pinned to the roof? What if I panic? Seeing the world, that situation, through a negative lens. Again, a negative mindset. What if, worst case scenario? I'm like, right, what I want you to do, this is what I said to her. So what I want you to do, I said, I want you to sit there. I want you to close your fucking eyes. I want you to clear your mind of all the bullshit you just laid your mind with, all the negativity you just laid your headspace with, which now laden you down and forced you to press pause. I said, I want you to clear your head. So I'm going to ask you one question. I said, I want you to clear your head. Let me know when you cleared your head. I'm going to ask you one question. So all I want is an answer, yes or no. She sat there, gave her 30 seconds. So did your head clear? She went, yes, stuff. I said, can you hold your breath for 40 seconds? She went, yes, staff, and more. I was like, fucking hell, more. I'm fucking showing off now. She said, yes, staff, and more. I went, and more. She said, yeah, I've been, obviously, one of my fears is water. I've been practicing holding my breath, knowing I was going to come on the course. She said, I can hold my breath for just over a minute. I was like, right. I said, that's all I require from you. The moment that water comes up, all I want you to do is hold your breath for 40 seconds. If you can hold it for a minute, great. Hold it for 40 seconds, undo your seatbelt, which you know you can do because you decided to commit to the first phase. You decided to take that first layer off, so you know you can do that seatbelt now. She went, yeah, I'm confident I can undo my seatbelt now. So I went, great. I said, and then all I need you to do is swim 3 meters out the back. I said, can you do that? She went, yes. I said, are you ready to commit? She went, yes. I went, 40 seconds. Keep that in your head, that's all I want you to do. And the whole vehicle went up, and I thought to myself, no, I shouldn't fucking jump out the driver's side window, which it didn't bother me if she'd done that, because I have the discretion as chief instructor to keep people on the course. And because she's shown that commitment, even if she would have failed the task, or even if she would have just, that first commitment in that vehicle, if she would have got out after then, I would have still kept her on the course. She just proved to me that she can take those layers off. So hopefully in the next couple of tasks, we can take a couple more layers off, then if she doesn't make it through, then at least we've taken 3 or 4 layers off, and I've sent her home with those percentages, those small positive footsteps that she can work on in her life, hopefully with this self-belief kicking in the back end there. However, she done it, she was there, 40 seconds goes by, she's there, couldn't get her out of the fucking vehicle. Squeezing on the shoulder, she's got white knuckler there, like, I think she was there for about 50 seconds, get out, you fucking maniac. Fucking showing off now, so I'm pretty sure I know. No, I didn't. After about 50 seconds, boom, she got off, swam out, she got out. It wasn't until after that I said to her, what are you worried about? She's like, oh no, thank you stuff. I said, don't fucking thank me. I said, I'm just a positive person in your life that made you commit. I said, you've done everything thereafter. About 3 days after that task, well, actually about 2 days after that task, she VW'd on a silly task. It wasn't even a challenging task. She VW'd and she said, stuff, I've had enough. I took her number and as I debriefed, I said, what's going on? She went, you know what, stuff? She went, I'm done. She went, the moment I completed that vehicle drill, she went, I've succeeded. She went, never in a million years would I ever believe that I would have done that. And she went, I'm happy, I'm content, I've succeeded, I don't need to complete the course in order to go any further. She went, I've just gone as far as I can and I want to leave with what I've got, because if you would have shown me that at the beginning of the course, if you would have given her a course layout, she would have seen that on day 3, 4, whatever it was. She said, I wouldn't have even committed to the course. She said, so now that I've done that, talk about self-belief, giving her the best. She went, you know, if I can do that, I can do anything. Again, that self-belief, that gift of self-belief, due to that commitment phase, and that's why I stress the importance of that commitment, that one commitment phase, that layer off. Just because she sat there, but nothing to do with water, nothing to do with her fear, but just, boom, yeah, I can do that bit. Oh, are you ready to commit again? Yeah, I'm ready to commit again. Commit again, and before you know it, but if you don't commit and you fucking press pause, then you're going to live life with regrets. You're not going to grow, you're not going to become a better version of who you are. Fact, you're not going to change a personal change, psychological, physical, or emotional change. You're not going to go through that. So it's hugely important. Like that woman that's committed to that table, didn't have a fucking pen and paper. That first layer off, guess what it led to? It didn't lead to her achieving a goal like Bonnie, but I don't know if she spoke at her mum's funeral, but it's like, wow, it does work. And again, I can't stress it enough because I go through the process all the time. And I get carried away with the destination. I concentrate on the journey, I concentrate on those percentages, I concentrate on those small positive footsteps in the right direction. And your journey might take a lot longer than others, so what? Don't get fucking distracted. Concentrate on yourself. That's the power of committing to yourself. It does really, really give you that self-belief which kicks in and which will change your outlook on life. And again, that whole mentality flip of I can, I'm capable of, that fucking positive mindset starts to flip and you start to see the world, a task again, sitting there through a positive lens. You start at the top of the list, the positive, commit. If you see the world through a negative lens, you start at the bottom of the list with a press pause. It's hugely important that you recognise that, especially the younger generation out there, because ultimately what you're doing is you're committing to yourselves. And then also, there's no growth in comfort. Just realise that. Just that first commitment phase, you're getting outside of your comfort zone. And that's where growth is, outside of your comfort zone. There's no growth in comfort. Just get there. That might be sufficient enough for you. That one commitment might be sufficient enough for you to take that percentage and live on that for fucking 3, 4, 5 weeks, 5 months even. But then when that fear, again, when that spark starts to fucking, that's your body telling itself something. For me, all fear is my body priming itself, because I know how to harness fear. Fear, I feel fear is my body priming itself to step into the unknown. That's what fear is for me. It's my body saying, get ready, get ready, get ready. And I love that fucking feeling because I know that when I commit to the unknown, no matter what the outcome, I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, I'm going to change, I'm going to become a better version of who I am. The whole fucking process happens again. And that's enough for me. And they'll go, right, that job's not for me, or I'll tackle that at a later date. It's those, then again, just collecting those half percentages through life will gradually build you to where you are. And I find it absolutely fascinating as well. You know, I try and look at the grand scheme of things. I could go really deep into this, but I won't. We never get to being the best version of who we are. That's my purpose in life. I will never get to the best version of who I am, and I find that absolutely fascinating. I just keep going on this fucking journey, getting closer and closer and closer, but never getting there. That is my purpose in life. It's like you never be the perfect you, because again, the moment you think that in your head, what do? You press pause, every other fucker overtakes you. And that's my purpose. I love chasing that, those percentages along life, and again, knowing that I'll never get there, I'll never get to the end of the road, I'll never get to the top of my mountain. Now, like I said, the most courageous thing that you can do is be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself every single time, okay? I'm not saying you'll achieve everything, but just be honest with yourself. Because it has that massive knock-on effect. Being honest with other people, being honest with the situation, and flipping that whole mindset. Again, it doesn't mean you'll achieve everything you set out to do, but there's not much that will phase you. And when I mean there's not much that will phase you, I mean there's not much you won't commit to. And failure again is in the eye of the beholder. Now I'm going to show you a clip from series 1 of SAS Australia. It's the end clip. And again, just because you fail doesn't mean that you're a failure. Like Bonnie, she succeeded in her own right. And the cloak of secrecy that surrounds Special Forces selection is this forever changing mould. Now, if you fail selection, you just get told